Afcon is heading into the final stages of the competition, so we're going to be going over the semi-final matches, which are Egypt versus Senegal, and we have Nigeria versus Morocco as well. So those are some very good matches. I don't think we've done a Afcon video before on the channel, so it should be very exciting for all of you guys, and hopefully you do enjoy it. Now let's move straight into the first game, Egypt versus Senegal. This is gonna be a absolute banger. Like, all these games are gonna be good. But we will have Mo Salah face off against Sadio Mane. So both former teammates are gonna be facing off against each other. So let's get started with Egypt. They've been really good in this competition so far. Actually, they are unbeaten so far throughout all their games. So it's all started off when they faced off against Zimbabwe in match day 1. They absolutely dominated that match fully. It was crazy, having 32 shots, 11 shots on target, and 80% possession. I've not seen that kind of domination before. It's actually quite crazy. And of course, Marmoush and Salah, the main men in that Egypt team, scoring in that match. Now Salah came in clutch with the 91st minute goal to secure the win, but then they moved into match day 2 where Egypt faced off against South Africa. Now that was definitely, I would say, a more tougher game for Egypt, but they won 1-0. They pulled through, and they also had a red card in that match, so a good win for them, honestly. Then in match day 3, they drew against Angola 0-0. That put them automatically top of the group, I believe, which means they moved into round of 16 to face off against Benin. Now that game was actually quite decent, honestly. It ended 1-1 in full time, so they ended up going into extra time. Egypt scored 2 goals in the extra time, one being Ibrahim, and then the second goal, of course, Mo Salah scores in the 124th minute to secure a quarter-final spot for Egypt. So the quarterfinals was probably going to be the toughest match for them. They went on to face Ivory Coast in the quarterfinals. So Ivory Coast won the last Afcon. But yeah, that game against Ivory Coast might have been Egypt's best game so far in this competition. They played really well, but defensively there were some mistakes. But at the end of the day, Egypt secured the win 3-2, which is huge, beating the defending champions. Onto Senegal, they have always been quite a strong team in this competition. This year, as expected, they are strong once again. Their campaign started against Botswana, which was a breeze for them. They limited Botswana to no shots on target throughout the game, completely locked them up, while Senegal themselves had 22 shots and 13 on target. So they ended up winning that match 3-0. And I also want to mention the Senegal squad is very strong. They got Mane, they got Jackson up front, Ismail Assar from Crystal Palace, Koulibaly, and Edouard Mendy. Just quality all around the pitch. They could be the front runners for this competition, but we will see when they face off against Egypt. Now honestly, they seemed like quite a good side. But moving into match day 2, where Senegal faced off against DR Congo, and they drew 1-1. Honestly, it seemed like quite the even game, but both teams had 2 shots on target. Quite even game, if we're being honest. But then moving into match day 3, they faced Benin, winning 3-0, even when they got a red card in that match as well. Koulibaly got sent off in that match. And on paper, as I said before, Senegal, in my opinion, looked like the strongest team in the competition. Moving into the knockout stages, in the round of 16, Senegal played Sudan. And once again, Senegal were the better side in this match stats-wise. Scoring-wise, they ended up winning thanks to Papagay getting a brace and Mbaye, putting them in the quarterfinals where they face Mali. And I mean, Senegal full-on dominated Mali even before Mali got a red card around the 45th minute. Of course, Bissouma gets a red card, but I mean, they only limited Mali to only 1 shot on target, while they had 19 shots overall and 9 on target. And the winning and only goal was scored by Iliman Ndiaye. That guy is a absolute baller. If you don't know, plays for Everton, I believe left mid or right mid. absolute baller though. But my prediction for this match, it's going to be a 3-2 win for Senegal. Moving on to Nigeria versus Morocco. This game is going to be so good. Another banger on the card. So both teams are looking very strong coming into it. So let's get started with Nigeria. They have been doing quite good in this competition. Like, one man that's continuing his form is obviously Osimhen. He just does not stop scoring. Whether it's for his club Galatasaray or for his country Nigeria, just does not stop. Nigeria's journey started against Tanzania in match day 1. They were the better side, I think, in that match for sure. Another team with talent. Nigeria have loads of talent in the squad, loads of quality in this Afcon. They ended up winning that match 2-1. Lookman and Ajayi banging the goals to win the match. Now match day 2, it was a high scoring game against Tunisia. The game ended up going 3-2 in Nigeria's favor. And I mean, guess who scored in that match once again? It was Lookman once again. I swear he scored in nearly every single match. Other than Lookman, the other two that bagged the goals were Ndidi and obviously Osimhen as well. Now Tunisia were very clinical, scoring both of their shots on target, but it just wasn't enough for them. Moving into match day 3, Nigeria were coming up against Uganda. I mean, Nigeria dominated that match like crazy in every single metric. They ended up winning that game 3-1 against Uganda, limiting them to 1 shot on target. Once again, a defensive masterclass from Nigeria. It's looking like their defense is actually quite strong in most of the matches. So into the knockout stages they go, specifically around the 16, and they faced off against Mozambique. Once again, pure and utter domination from Nigeria once again. They won that game 4-0, Lookman scoring, and Osimhen scored a brace as well. They once again dominated in every single metric, but they held Mozambique to 0 shots on target. Now into the most recent fixture, Algeria in the quarterfinals. They performed incredibly well, once again dominating yet another match, limiting yet another team to 0 shots on target. Like, what? It's happened already in 3 back-to-back games. Unbelievable defense from Nigeria, and Algeria were actually quite poor, I'm not gonna lie, but Nigeria, obviously based off the score, were quite good. But Osimhen scoring once again, leaping like CR7 in the air, but that defender who was marking him, it was very poor marking. But moving on to Morocco. Now they have been yet another strong team in this competition, specifically Brahim Diaz. I've heard he's been balling out for his country. I did some research and he has scored in all 5 of his Afcon matches so far. It's unbelievable. He's on fire. So we will see if he's gonna score in this semi-final match as well. Now Morocco's journey started off against Comoros, I think it is. Now Morocco were all over them, and that match ended 2-0. The goal scorers being Brahim Diaz, of course, and El Kabi. And in that first match, El Kabi scored that unbelievable bicycle kick. What a goal. I saw that all over Twitter that day. It was crazy. Then Morocco moved into match day 2 to face off against Mali. Now this game, based on stats, Morocco had this game dominated, but the game between the two sides ended up being a 1-1 draw. Of course, Brahim Diaz again scoring in this match. Then moving into the last match day where they faced Zambia. Yet another domination job from Morocco, winning the game 3-0, limiting Zambia to 0 shots on target. It's quite crazy. How are all these teams just limiting most of these teams to 0 shots on target? I guess it's just the quality in the team, but I don't even gotta see who scored one of the goals. You already know. And then you had the other 2 goals coming from El Kabi. So now they moved into the round of 16 against Tanzania, and I mean, what can I say? They pretty much locked them up defensively. Another team locked up. It's unbelievable. But Morocco were so good defensively, they only let Tanzania have 1 shot on target. So Morocco had that game dominated once again in every single metric, every single stat, but they ended up winning that match 1-0 against Tanzania, and Brahim Diaz scoring once again. Then in the most recent quarterfinal match against Cameroon, like, it's actually unreal. Once again, they locked up another team, limiting them to no shots. Cameroon had 0 shots in that game, while Morocco had 2 shots on target, and they scored both, being very clinical. So they ended up winning 2-0, and the scorers being Brahim Diaz, of course, and Saibari as well. Plus, they arguably have the best right back in the world on their team. In Hakimi is back from his injury, playing in the competition, which is huge for Morocco. Now, my prediction for this match is going to be a 2-1 win for Morocco. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment down below if you want me to make a Afcon final video, and don't forget to subscribe as well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.